The third aspect or the third lever of our strategy is in the aftermarket space, because commercial vehicle is essentially a B2B kind of market in which the second sale happens based on the kind of aftermarket response that you received after your first sale. So it's very important, we believe at Ashok Leyland, is to have a pretty robust aftermarket strategy in place. We have done a couple of unique things here. The first of which is the Uptime Solution Center. This is something that we launched in September of last year, so about 10 months in. And what we have done is essentially this sort of acts as a nerve center or air traffic control, if you may, wherein our trained engineers are manned 24/7, who have access to real-time data of every Ashok Leyland vehicle operating anywhere, right? So based on the telemetry data which is coming in from the trucks, our team basically decides on, should any problem arise, decides on one of three steps. One is, it could be either do it yourself. So in case of any minor problems, our team gets in contact with the driver and then guide them in terms of how to do the diagnosis himself, because the problem is quite minor and the productive time which might be wasted in going to the workshop and coming back can be eliminated. Because remember, these are commercial vehicles, they need to earn money. The higher time they spend on the road, the better it is for the operator's viability. The second thing that we can do is, our team does is, if the problem is, let's say, medium in nature, in those cases, our team advises the driver of the vehicle to basically visit the workshop at his own convenient time. And in very extreme circumstances, wherein let's say the problem is, can get aggravated if the vehicle is operated for a larger duration, our team basically, ask them to, stop right there and let the authorized service, team jump into action. So this is, kind of the nerve center that we have put up at the Uptime Solution Center. And the idea is basically to ensure that all Ashok Leyland vehicles ensure or operate on the highest possible uptime. That's one. Second is, with BS6 in the last 5 or 6 years, the vehicles have gone more sophisticated in terms of because of the lots of electronification which is coming in. So what that means is that the technicians who operate our dealerships should also be well trained to cater to these new technology vehicles. We are happy to share that we are, I think, the pioneers in developing an expansive service training infrastructure with 13 service centers, having the best-in-class training infrastructure, very modern, very contemporary, fully equipped, and we have a capacity. We actually train about more than 25,000 technicians every year, and no other OEM is even close to this. The other important stakeholder in the entire ecosystem of commercial vehicle industry is the drivers. Now, here we have actually, kind of, two concerns which the industry faces. One is the availability of skilled drivers. Second is upliftment of the entire driver community itself. So with respect to the first one, again, we are happy to share that we are the only one to have, Ashok Leyland is the only OEM in the CV space to have 17 driver training institutes, which we have established along with state government's participation. And we have a capacity of training more than 2.5 lakhs drivers every year. Proud to share that so far we have trained more than 25 lakh drivers so far through this expansive DTI infrastructure. We basically offer our fresher and refresher courses while also having focusing on the wellness of the driver fraternity also. So that's one bit to ensure the availability of skilled driver. With respect to the second aspect of upliftment of the entire driver community, sometime back we launched the driver Sathi Suraksha policy. So what that means is any driver
for triaging or a quick customer voice diagnosis helps identify the most suitable journey. This approach ensures tailored customer journeys, enabling improved job prioritization over a single uniform service workflow. The vehicle is triaged into one of three categories: drive-through for services under 60 minutes, fast track for jobs under 120 minutes, and general for all other tasks. One of the biggest challenges we face is accurate G-code monitoring. tech-enabled gate-in and digitization, we are aiming to resolve this issue. Digitized inventory checklist, completed with the driver's acknowledgement, ensures lower chances of conflict. The technical advisor conducts vehicle diagnosis, converting the CCV into ROTs for precise job identification, cost estimation, and spare part mapping, ensuring every requirement is accurately documented. With image-driven vehicle inspection and accurate capture of the customer's voice, the details are automatically mapped to repair order times, or ROTs. The final ROT list is prepared and shared with the service advisor. Cost and time estimates are mapped automatically for improved accuracy, and the standardized digital approval process further streamlines the workflow. Automated job card creation speeds things up, and adjustments are made efficiently when customers reject specific ROTs during job card preparation. Moving on to service, throughout the process, a real-time dashboard provides live updates on bay allocation, mechanic assignments, and job status. This ensures complete transparency and better resource management. Flow Supervisor uses a digitalized requisition process, eliminating manual effort while the spares manager digitally processes requisition, enabling FFR capture. Before the vehicle is delivered, the technical advisor performs a final inspection to ensure all service standards are met. This post-service quality check guarantees that the customer receives their vehicle in the best condition possible. Post this, the service advisor completes the job card, ensuring all details are accurate and the process is closed efficiently. The streamlined workflow ensures a seamless experience from gate in to gate out for all stakeholders: the customer, the dealer, and AL.
To have profitable, we'll continue to strive to profitably grow our market share. Thank you so much. I'll hand it over to Rajesh.
Which you have, we'll get Sanjeev Kumar to answer those questions for. So throw it open for questions.
आई थिंक साकेत ने जैसे आपको बताया कि नॉर्थ इंडिया जो है उनका उसका जो टीआईबी में जो हमारी इंडस्ट्री है उसमें कंट्रीब्यूशन मैक्सिमम है, और इसीलिए अशोक लीलैंड का फोकस अभी नॉर्थ इंडिया में है। एंड अभी हमारा जो 300 टच पॉइंट हैं, एंड इस साल में हम करीब 50 और टच पॉइंट बनाएंगे, और ये टच पॉइंट एनसीआर में भी आएंगे, हरियाणा में भी आएंगे, यूपी में भी आएंगे, राजस्थान में भी आएंगे, और पंजाब चंडीगढ़ में भी आएंगे।
Mr. Kumar, the overall M&HCV industry, how are you looking at FY26? And for Ashok Leyland, how are you looking at it? And how much of your sales do you expect to come from the northern markets?
See, when you look at last year the industry volume came down by 3%. So our understanding is that this is 4th year running. You know, if you look at CV industry, generally it stays good for 3 years and then it kind of goes through the downtrend. So this is 4th year running, and we expect the industry to grow at least through single digit. So right now, since North market share is around 26%, their contribution is a bit low. But as you know, Saket shared with you, we are very encouraged by the journey because in last 3 years we have improved our presence by almost 5.6%, and our volumes are also growing. So I would say that let's say if Ashok Leyland does 1 lakh vehicles, we expect North Zone to contribute 30,000 vehicles, and if TIV goes up in the same proportionate manner, it's talking about at least 5% better than last year. So all these factors are good for CV industry, and that is what makes us feel confident about this single-digit growth in trucks. Talking about buses, you know, we have a very strong demand coming in from state transport undertakings across India, and as you know that we are the leaders in bus business, especially in state transport undertakings. So we have a very robust order book coming from the state transport undertaking, and the second major application in buses is schools and staff. So as you know, India is, I mean, Indian population is growing. Overall consumption theory is there, there. So overall, we expect demand from school and staff buses to continue.
So how much is the order book from the STUs right now?
Right now, I would say that we have to execute around almost 4,000 vehicles are pending to be executed, and that is where these new plants we have started. We have recently opened plant in Vijayawada, and a plant in Lucknow would be operational by October.
Do you also see, the government's scrappage policy also contributing to the growth?
At some point of time, yes. Because government is now creating a framework around scrappage policy in terms of the ERP points, etc., which will make these scrappage center one of the stakeholders in CV industry.
Right. And do you see any specific headwinds or challenges for this year?
First of all is, government has really worked on improving the overall efficiency of this logistic industry, which is actually good and very welcome move. You would have heard about dedicated freight corridors, which have been created between north and east.